Stovetop podcast, and we're back for another one. If you want to introduce yourself, homie, and we'll get into it.
So my name is Alex Ujiye. I am the founder of a company called Makoto Music. We do production and development and content for a bunch of artists in BC. I also play in a couple bands and do a little bit of a solo project in the hip hop scene.
So you're a Heinz 57 for in the artist world. Hey, you do a little bit of everything.
I try to dip my foot a little bit. I like to know what everybody else is experiencing so that when I do go do production, I can give them what I think they need.
Fair enough. Um, so I was gonna ask where your stage name came from, but I'm assuming that you don't have one that you go by your birth name. I guess you wouldn't say it like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I do just use the first three letters of my last name.
Okay.
I very much am proud of it, and I think I'm more than happy to be personal with it and let people know that this is my music and this is my work.
Watch this, I could probably school you in like 50 different topics. Never switching up the way I act for the optics. I know I'm annoying and I'm never gonna stop it. If you wanna leave, you can take off like a rocket.
For sure, and rightfully so, right? Um, that's dope, and it's original. You know what I mean? So you're not like a a little this or a little that, or you know what I mean? The originality is key nowadays. Whether it even is just part of your last name, it's still super key,
Totally.
right? Um, so when was the moment where you realized like music is what I wanted to do?
I have always been like pretty music centric with my life, even as a kid. Like I was taking too many music courses in school to the point where, I was almost not getting enough credits there. It's just always been an interest to me. For a long time, I had a spark for like orchestra music, and then I lost it because, I realized I might not be able to do just that, you know? And I did lose that spark that you're talking about. But I think the moment I regained it and what's been pushing me for the longest time in the last little bit has been last January when I went and helped with my first tour. And it was amazing to meet so many different people with so many different perspectives on how to do it. But they were so passionate about getting their message across or, trying to help someone else in whatever little way they could. And they wanted to give back to the community as much as they could. And I really love that.
And when I don't really do music anymore. I'm not really like I don't really rap anymore, but back when I was really active, it was clicky. So it was like, if you weren't rapping with us and our little collective, then it was fuck you, right?
Yeah,
And we all beefed with each other, right? Like you wouldn't catch somebody from our little crew recording with this guy over here from another crew. It just wouldn't happen. And now like
totally.
everybody's so more open to collaborations. People are even working with people that aren't even in their genre. You know what I mean? Or even for an example, say rappers are getting people to put guitar riffs in their chorus, or you know what I mean? Things are starting to kind of branch out and be a little bit more open. And I like that because that's what music should be, man. It's like music's got a oh shit. Music's got a spot for everybody, right? It doesn't matter
It's
the
it
walk of
is. It's a
life. Like
it's about connectedness and I think it is awesome that we're doing more and more collaboration in more ways than one. Like in my communities, I'm starting to see like live bands backing up dance routines or like you know, they'll like Snack the Ripper, for example, is doing big tours where he like brings a full band around.
Yeah.
And that's like super cool to see it like styles getting mashed together and bringing us new creative outlets.
Well, and it's unheard of, especially for rappers, right? Nine
Yeah.
times out of 10, man, fuck, we can even roll up with our phone with our track on it, just plug it in and just, you know what I mean? A
Yeah,
lot of people say they don't rap over their stuff, but let's be real here. You know what I mean? And it's depending on what you want to do. Like, there's a difference between a performer and an art, like a rapper, for an example, in this situation. A
yeah,
performer, they rap like the track basically just basically plays in the background, but you see them jumping around and they're working with the crowd, right? Like for an example, bigger artists, you barely see them actually rap their track when they're performing, right? Nine times out of ten,
yeah,
they're popping bottles on stage, jumping around. You know what I mean? ICP, great example. 90% of their sets throwing Fago into the crowd, right?
totally.
Right. So it really depends on what you are and what you do.
Yeah, it's a balancing of performance art and like, like you say, on the other side of it, like, uh, have you ever heard of Petty Boy Owsley?
Yeah. Yeah.
He does an awesome job of curating his live tracks to like have enough of the, studio version to like give him the room to go out and do all these performance pieces, but then it's out of the way enough to where he can come in and really belt the emotional parts and,
Homie's been at
super
it for
cool.
like almost 20 years, if not longer, though. Like,
Oh yeah.
like I started rapping, I was 16. So what, 16 years ago or something like that. And when I started rapping, those guys were already doing their thing. And like, Biosun too. Like those guys
Yeah.
will sell out a Williams Lake show like that. Boom. Like I got to share a stage with Petty Boy before he changed his name. To be honest, actually, that show is how I met my baby mama. To be like,
Oh, crazy.
yeah. So like it was pretty big, man, because like I was super excited to go and meet all these guys. I knew of them, but I never had a chance to actually meet them. So I got to meet Young Catalyst. I got to meet Saint Nick. I got to meet Petty Boy. Like, and then he comes here to Quesnel quite often now too.
Yeah.
Um, so like you were saying, like with the with such a diverse we'll say experience in music, like did you grow up around music, or was that something that you kind of came across a little bit later?
My home family did not do any music of any sorts, but a lot of the friends I was surrounded with throughout my growing up, like they were all into music. So I think it was definitely having them around to like do it with that helped me get into it.
100%, I get that too. I like that. I like that. um so I'm gonna take a little bit of a take a little bit of a turn and ask, what's the most important thing that you've learned as an artist?
As an artist, hmm, I think the most important little bit I've learned so far has been that everybody on planet Earth has their own taste and unique style. And part of you putting your stuff out there is knowing that you could be the exact opposite of someone, and you're probably gonna like even your friends, you might have them not quite support you there. And it might not even be because they don't actually think you can do it, but it's important to know that the disconnect is not like life or death. You got to push through it because it's for you.
True. And I think that's a common thing when we're more underground in any genre, and almost anything really. Um, it's usually this, like, like obviously, like I got supporters too that support the Stovetop, but it's usually honestly like no offense to the viewers, but strangers who are like diehard fans of the Stovetop. I have a fan. Shout out to her. I'm not gonna say names, but shout out to her. She'll know who I'm saying. She watches every episode. Every
That's what's up.
episode, you know what I mean? Like the support for the Stovetop is amazing. And honestly, it's also thanks to artists like yourself where I can do this. Like, people thank me all the time for doing it, but I tell them it's like you guys got to realize if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. I need artists like you guys to sit down with, or I don't have a stovetop to do, right? People come
And
here to
you know what?
watch. Sorry.
Sorry. Love that sentiment so much. And I I do gotta agree with everybody else. Like we do really appreciate having someone who not only takes the time to like highlight people that they enjoy, but they're, trying to push a bigger movement over the community. And it's good to see, more and more people taking part in that. And thank you.
You know, it's like I don't know, like I love music in general. When I first started this back during the toilet paper shortage, it started off as just rappers. And then, like, like I just said, I love music in general. Like I went to an orchestra, I think it was, I don't remember. She sang and they had live instruments.
Right.
And when I went, man, like I still get chills talking about her because there was no audio equipment. These bands are playing completely acoustic. She's singing completely acoustic. And this woman would echo through the whole room. Like, I swear to God, like it's making my hair stand up on my hand. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was just so baffled at how much her voice could expand through the room. And it felt like I was sitting right in front of her. Like, and I was in the back row, like out in, way back, right? But I felt like I was sitting right in front of her, like almost in the recording booth while she was doing it. I was blown away. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Moments like that are exactly like why I keep doing it.
so kind of leading off of that, how do you handle criticism or negative feedback?
I am a big optimizer guy. So if someone has criticism or feedback for me, I usually like take it quite like maybe not seriously, like it's not coming to my heart, but like I do hear everybody and everybody's perspective and try to think about why it might be like that for them because I find like doing like live shows, right, doing the production there, you'll have the one person at every show who's like, "Oh, it's too loud." But like, it's the old lady sitting in the back, right?
Yeah.
So like it's balancing out those types of criticisms with the valid criticisms, but I am very like for the people, Like let's make it optimize and if you think there's a better way to do it, let's try it.
And I like that. Me personally, I am trying to be more optimistic and open to people's input and advice because at the end of the day, like like I said, it's the people that are watching that are bringing the views. Like it's not me that are doing it, that's doing it. And let's be real,
Right.
YouTube wouldn't let me do it anyway because it's not going to help with the algorithm. If I'm sitting here
Yeah.
running up 100 views on my episodes by myself, YouTube's smart enough, it knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
um, this is my favorite question out of everything that I've got for on my scripts. If you could work with any artist of any genre, dead or alive, who would it be?
Hmm. Slipknot.
Really?
I think their shows are insanely cool. I like the way they're planned out. I like the way they just like the whole show melds together. It is a whole performance art, and I would love to be part of that lighting team.
I I like that, and I agree. And the reason why I like this question is because I've sat down with probably a good 30 artists since the very beginning. And I've only had the same answer twice.
Really?
Yeah. One of them
Crazy.
was like Drake, and I can't remember who the other one was. I think it was a country artist or something like that. Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was Michael Jackson, and then I think it was like Drake. And like the rest of them, the reason why I ask is because like man, like it can also give an idea to people of who you are as a person on what your taste of music is. You know what I mean? Actually, speaking of that, leading off of that, what's a genre like a genre or a subgenre that you don't fuck with, that you won't catch on your playlist?
Mm, it's a good one. Um, I don't know. I'm a pretty diverse listener. I like things from like, annoying hyperpop noises to, again, Slipknot. But I think as we get like heavier into metal, like when we do like the black metal, like the tune as low as you can, like kind of just noise thing.
Where they're like basically just fucking growling and roaring in the mic.
Yeah, like the goal is like noise over music, and I do understand it. Like I get it. I like the community, but it's not on my playlist.
I mean I agree. Like honestly, like I'll listen to the like pop music, and you know what I mean? Like I'll listen to music where it's like you'd probably get looked at weird if it came on when you were with the homies. You know what I mean? I
Yeah, I
don't I
get
don't
you.
care. Like I listen to it in my own personal time. Like I don't give a fuck. Like and it's also like it's the vibe that I'm feeling at a certain time, you know? What am I feeling? Am I feeling like if I'm feeling tense and angry, I'm gonna put on some gangster trap music and I'm gonna start going fucking hard, you know what I mean? If I'm all
Exactly.
sad and depressed, I'm gonna go and put on like I don't know what fucking Blink 182 or some shit like that, you know, like
Yeah,
whatever the vibe is, right?
it's all dependent.
We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna add a little snippet of your music, give everybody an understanding of who you are as an artist and what's going on, and then we'll come back.
Sounds good, dude.
Like for pro and logic, got this. You'd be better off sitting somewhere in an office. That's just you. Why did you think that I'd be gone? Tell the truth. Gap between us now is getting long. What I do, it is something you could never replicate. And even if you made it to my place and through the gates, we'd be face to face and you'd be here to risk your fate.
So, just before the break, there we asked if you could work with any artist, dead or alive. Who would it be? We got the quite a diverse answer of Slipknot, especially with your diversity in music. It doesn't really surprise me. So leading off that last question, um, who's your top five favorite artists?
Oh, okay, okay. Number five. Let's just throw Slipknot out of the way and put them there. Uh, Number four, the Beaches.
Never heard of
Uh,
them.
Number three. Oh, you guys, crazy answer. Sabrina Carpenter.
Really?
I like that. I like Short and Sweet. That album was fire for me.
Fucking A.
And then we'll do Break-ins number two, Sewer Person number one.
I like that. Because like everything went from Slipknot to like the diversity just went like this, which explains a lot. Again, like with you being like with you musically, like um so obviously like we can see the guitars in behind you. Fuck, I see three of them. Do you play any other instruments?
I don't play any other instruments like super seriously. Like I do play bass, drum, piano, like I have played in groups and bands before, but as of right now, the only instrument I'm playing right now is guitar.
Man, so like it seems like almost every artist that I've sat down with lately and recently all came out with either a microphone, a guitar, or something right out the womb. Like, you know what I mean? It's like y'all were born like straight out of it, came out with a guitar and an amp and was already playing music, you know what I mean? Like, and that, like,
So,
I love it.
something about Alvin and the Chipmunks must have gotten to me when I was little.
Yeah. Never thought about it like that. You know, for me, like I discovered, like I've always enjoyed music in general. Like I said, like I've always loved and had a like I loved music forever. Um, and then I was like I discovered rap music, and then I noticed that I was like able to like play with words and kind of like make things rhyme and kind of make it like have the word play with things. And then I was just kind of doing like really stupid nonsense freestyles, like completely just vulgar nonsense, just completely stupid. But I started to
Stovetop.
notice that I could put the words together. And then when I went into the group home at in Prince George at 16, I didn't have any friends there. I didn't have anything to do. So I just started writing music. And the rest was history, to be honest with you. Um,
Right.
I kind of
Yeah.
started rambling off. I forgot where I was going off with that, but anyway, welcome to the Stovetop, man. I get stoned halfway through and then I make nonsense.
That's how we
um,
do it.
so with that top five favorite, are there any artists being pumped on repeat now? Like if a like if a track if one of those band's tracks came on right now, which one would it be where you would just be like, like
A Doorman's Plight by Sewer Person.
yeah, eh?
I
I'm not,
think that one is at least in the top three of all his songs, and I very much enjoyed the storyline.
now I should be more in the education of music, but what sort of genre is that from?
Hmm. It's like a SoundCloud rap, hyperpop, underground kind of thing, it's
Okay.
like terrible vocals on purpose kind of thing.
Oh, almost like that Ghost Main type shit.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Um,
I don't know exactly. I try not to label genres too hard because, it's always going to be subjective, and especially like I find most of the time the artist doesn't agree with what it actually gets labeled as.
well, and that's why when I say this, like when I ask, like, is there a favorite genre or subgenre? Because like if you can't just say rap or country
Yeah.
or rock because it's like we have 20 different types of rock, but then when you go to somebody and they just say, well, no, there's just rap, that's a lie. That
Yeah, it's all different.
right? We have the boom baps, we have trap music, we have drill music, we have like and it keeps going. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of where I try to and I can't think of the fucking word, but that's how I really try to word it is because it's true, man. Rock music can have 20 different genres, but if you go to country or rap music, then it's just it's just country, it's just rap. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm the
Yeah,
crazy
it's
one, but it just
it's hard to define. I do agree with you super hard on the country one. I don't think I've ever heard a country subgenre.
well, I mean, yes, I guess like in like an actual title, no. But you can't put Johnny Cash and the Wreck Laws
Yeah,
together.
no,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Or like, even Johnny Cash and Brooks and Dunn were kind of different but the same. Tim McGraw,
Totally.
like, right? Like, yeah, there was some where it was, more poppy. There was some where it was more,
Yeah.
whiskey, my dog died, my wife left me, right?
Yeah.
Stereotypical stuff, just like rap music. We all have it. Um, so changing lanes a little bit. I like this question. It's quite new to the podcast. How do you feel about social media and how it connects you to the listeners?
I like and dislike it. I like it in concept. Like when you think about, what the goal is supposed to be with social media, like connecting more people with broader audiences and, like making sure we can get information to each other quickly and efficiently. Unfortunately, in practice, it kind of ends up being a little bit of a rat race for everybody. And, you're everything's changing every day with the algorithm with each different social media. So I find it hard to really sit here and say I love doing it and I love that it's the way it is. But I appreciate that it is kind of pushing artists to do more with their content to grab the eye.
I that is said so perfectly and so perfectly well. Like, don't like even me personally, like I was born in the 90s, right? So I mean, like I came from a whole, CDs and all that shit. But when I even got
Yeah,
into it, like people were making CDs, but it was like, yeah, we were starting to really get into like the SoundCloud era where everybody was just uploading music to their SoundCloud, and then they would have
right.
CDs at the show, or they would just be selling merch because it was easier to sell merch than to stand there and hustle a stack of CDs.
For sure.
Um, fuck, I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, is there a group or a person that you take your music to gather input from?
Yeah. Have you heard of Stay Media? Do you know Brandon Hosler?
No.
Well, I guess like the official like launching of the real company was just last 2 Januaries ago, actually. Um, Before that, he was kind of just doing a little studio in Kamloops, but he's been helping me grow. He's who introduced me to like doing the live production thing. I always run my music past him.
Fucking A. And like I think it's good to have somebody who you can take that will be honest with you, but won't be a complete asshole about it either. Like, you can tell me my song is shit, but you don't have to look me dead in the face and tell me it's fucking shit. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, criticism's welcome, but like, don't look at me straight in the dead in the face, be like, no, it's fucking garbage, bro. Like, you can
totally.
tell me, be like, well, you could do it better, like do it this way. You kind of get the hint, right? Um,
I agree. I very much like the relationship that we've kind of fostered with the artists that we're working with over there at Stay Media. It's very helpful to have a group of guys who are passionate about what they're doing and are just there to help each other grow.
it's good to have people that are all in the same mindset. You know what I mean? And especially in music, it's hard to do that because they some people are doing it more for fun. Some people, they're not wanting to put money into it because, well, let's be real, like being an artist of any genre, it's a fucking money pit. You know what I mean? And like, like we all like to flex like we got money and shit, but let's be real, man. When we're spending hundreds, thousands of dollars on music equipment or instruments, rent's not cheap nowadays either, man. Like, you know what I mean?
We're all broke musicians.
Right? So like that's the
It's not a
reality.
stereotype if it's true.
Well, um, I think we're gonna close out this episode. We're gonna add another snippet of your music at the end here. And I really got to remember to tell people this in the beginning of the episode, that all of your links to your music, social media handles, whatever you want out there to the public will be out in the description of the video. So it's a one-stop shop. They don't have to search you. They don't have to do nothing. I do all of the work for them. So it's a one click. After they're done this episode, they can go find your your Facebook, your iTunes, whatever the hell you want out there to the world. We'll get it out there. Um, Other than that, man, thank you for sitting down with me. I liked this episode. You and I will have to stay more in contact. And that's what it is, man. Stovetop podcast, and we're out.
Watch this, I could probably school you in like 50 different topics. Never switching up the way I act for the optics. I know I'm annoying and I'm never gonna stop it. If you wanna leave, you can take off like a rocket. Money in my pocket, I've been drinking every day and you might find it shocking. I get money often, like a pro and logic. Got this, you'd be better off sitting somewhere in an office. That's just you. Why did you think that I'd be gone? Tell the truth. Gap between us now is getting long. What I do, it is something you could never replicate. And even if you made it to my place and through the gates, we'd be face to face and you'd be here to risk your fate. Why did you think that I'd be gone? Tell the truth. Gap between us now is getting long. What I do, it is something you could never replicate. And even if you made it to my place and through the gates, we'd be face to face and you'd be here to risk your fate.